constituents and the Udaka constituents. In Ikiki went to Patete Parish. And there we met around 120 people at parish level. And then in Nangeye Parish, we went around 173 people. This year, we put the districts in alphabetical order, so it's not according to the order of event, but alphabetical. This year and this year municipality combined. We did in Samia Bukwe South, it was 160, North is 117, and then Central 85. Municipality was missed as Honourable Jacob mentioned.
Honourable Oboth Oboth, the people work between 3 to 4 hours. And those 4 hours, the rest are for staying. And I will use the example of the elders in the room. Say, tell us how we used to work. And the elder will tell you how they used to carry food in the garden and then they work. And some young people said, Madam, there were no centers. Because it was really interrupted. There are no centers those days. So those ones didn't have where to go and stay. So when you ask them, what do you have in the center? You realize that they didn't have anything. For example, the Palisa road from Kumi to Palisa and then Tirini. You'll only get chicken in Kumi. They can't even roast chicken on that road to benefit them as something. And these are the things we are talking. Not even chapati is put on that road. But the road is very good. And I ask them, what do you do on the road? They say, we count the cars, we do what? You know, we get excited. And I was like, So I was asking Honourable Jacob, you fought for the Tirini road, but what has come to your people? Other people are using the road. So the mindset, and then somebody said, you know, eaters are very proud. We can't go roasting chicken. You know? You see pride. But 6 hours, people are just seated playing cards, discussing and taking marua. And then so if these hours can be changed to work, I know our people will be able to improve from the poverty that they have now. So we are now looking at the time when they go to the garden, when they do work, and then the 3 months they finish in rice skipping. 3 months are wasted because they're just sitting in the bush. Children are not in school because even the children have to go and watch over the garden of rice, and yet the harvest is very poor. So I think we really emphasize the issue of time management in terms of production in order to become rich. Thank you.
The general public here recommended that we need to seek for intervention. The whole of Bukedi should have triple the amount. That's about 300 million per parish for Bukedi. You cannot take us the same. I don't want to use other examples, I'm very sensitive. But you know, somebody whose hands are tied, and you go with the person who can run. You know, you always want to make me feel very, not very nice. She will want me to, you know how much I don't want to use those examples. Because we are all candidates. So you can't compete. Bukedi is peculiar, I agree. Our team leader, I know you're passionate about this. The leaders are now very passionate about this. But where do we start from? When we met in Kaberekeke, which is now, the other day bombarded me. Afterwards, the journalist called me and said, what was that name of that parish you said? They can't, the NBS, they couldn't get the Kaberekeke. But that is the beauty. When you are wealthy, everyone will call you an uncle. Kaberekeke, who was little known, nobody would even pronounce it. Now everyone is going to be forced to pronounce it and get to know. We need that. I believe somebody has talked about that. But that one in Tororo was strongly, and people are challenging us, the ministers, to begin with the ministers, seek audience, members of parliament, we seek audience with the head of government and the head of state, so that this thing is penned down. If we can't realize it in this financial year, we should realize it in the next financial year.
Is that we are already dealing with the pillar of community mobilization and mindset change at this time. But remember, our assumption was that the other pillars had been concretely covered. And like I've said before, I don't think so. Maybe it will require another initiative for us to come back, going forward, to now emphasize, especially on the one of financial inclusion. This is why we're going to have a problem. Financial inclusion, like I've said, people are still suffering from the hangover of the failed programs. Most of the people are waiting upon to get the money and do their own stuff. So the mindset is supposed to be an overlapping pillar across all the pillars. But I think when we come to financial inclusion, we're also going to have something very serious. But that does not mean that we don't need to emphasize this one of mindset change, because it's after all an overarching pillar. The framework, especially when you go to financial framework, the releases. When we came, all of us knew that the 17 million had been disbursed and they had actually reached destination. So you go very comfortably with a lot of pomp, you're talking about 17 million. Only to be told that actually we received 9.6. So these distortions also slapped us in the face. Psalm 3. So that now comes back to us. The distortions which are happening in terms of the releases, in terms of the regulations, are really affecting us. As we are talking about 17 million and somebody shocks you, tell you 6, 9, you get to push them back. You say what is happening. But even then, even when they have released the 9.6, it has not yet actually reached the beneficiary circles. Some cows have not even triggered off the payment. You know, there could be valid reason why they have not done that, but in many cases there could not be a valid reason why they have not done that. So these distortions have also affected us a great deal. We need to be systematic. You see, unfortunately, the assessment of these are planning figures. 39% are still stuck. But in reality, from assessment in our district, 65% are stuck. The other one is the national average. We need to get to reality. 65% of Busia people are stuck. Now, unfortunately, out of the 65, out of the 65, about 50% of those don't care. Meaning they even don't know whether they're stuck or not. They're not there. So we recorded our message. To say this PDM is not focused to those ones who don't care. No, it's focused intended for those ones who care, are struggling, but haven't succeeded to get something to put in the pocket. Of course, you know, in every village you find these people who put their antennas very high to find out where the party, who is celebrating a birthday, who is celebrating a wedding. They get there, whether whatever is going on, the dressing, the preaching, you don't want to listen. You're only waiting for time to tea. Pick the plate, rush there, eat to dead. If there's anything to drink, drink and even sleep there. You have to help them to go away. Then the following day, they also get in the truck and find where to also do the same thing. I told them, no, I was not targeting those ones. Those ones, and I think we called the ones who are targeted, the active poor.
Much as the gaps have been mentioned, we have not critically looked at certain enablers. I do appreciate and agree that we have Uganda is an informal country. Yes, people like doing things in a hazardous manner. Even where we have institutions, we go away from the institutions and do things the other way. Even where we have science teachers and art teachers, and we know all are important, we want to enhance the science teachers and leave out the cows who are arts people, and yes, they are very important now in this parish development model. So the key issue here that I want to bring up, we can have all these enterprises, But if we don't sort out, even if we make them formal, but if we don't sort out the challenge of the transportation, the linkage to the market, the silos, we are wasting time. When we grow a lot of grain, we used to have the cooperatives. I grew up seeing our parents carrying their produce to the cooperative. So where are the cooperatives in all this that we are doing now? Where are the silos where we shall keep our grain and wait, maybe when we have some shortage, then we can sell some of the buffer harvest? Where is the standard gauge railway, which would be a game changer for the people of Bukedi who are close to the border? Where are we with all this? So, the executive, this is your task. I was there, we were pushing for the standard gauge railway. We must push for this standard gauge railway because I believe it will be a game changer for the people of Bukedi. I want to entirely agree with the issue of the composition of the Parish Development Committee. You know, when you say this chairperson should be a member, there is also capability that at the end of the day you will find a Parish Development Committee that has weak leaders, and yet you have left out key people at the parish level who would actually drive this model at the parish level and even provide the necessary supervision. So, as we get back, let us look at this issue as a critical one. Because when you have a weak team coordinating this model at the parish level, you don't expect success. We need, as my last point, to ensure that we, as much as possible, engage the local leaders. First of all, provide them with information so that they can be able to monitor and supervise this program. Not everybody needs money. If I come to monitor what is going on in my parish, I don't need money. So we need to empower the councillors, the sub-county councillors who are closer to these parishes with the necessary information, and once these groups have been selected, share that information with these councillors so that at the end of the day they are able to monitor. What else can we do as elected leaders other than supervising and monitoring these government programs? Without the involvement of the local leaders, this is going to be another Myoga, another Ntandikwa, another Nazi program that will come and fail. Thank you very much.
With things which don't have a clear direction of where we're going. And I think I've got an idea about this vision from Professor's presentation. We need to turn the informality into formality for our region. Quickly move through. So for us to achieve it, we must plan. Because there is a small story I read when I was in primary called Alice in Wonderland. I don't know if any of you read it. Girls love those fairy stories. So if the men read it, the majority of you are men, then that's interesting. Now, Alice in Wonderland is a fairy tale book where this little girl wants to leave home, then she starts to move. My favorite point is when she comes to a particular place, and there are so many directions, you know, and she doesn't know which way to go. And then she looks up and she sees this slide. She sees a cat, a fairy cat. We call it the Cheshire cat. And what they want to be doing what? Moving. The cat said, then it doesn't matter which way you go. For leadership. So thank you so much for coming. And I want to thank our district leaders. You have made us proud. Because we are so proud. You have made us proud. There's nowhere where a district meeting has failed. Apart from only one area where, one parish where we missed the mobilization, which is going to be corrected. This is a very high success rate. Thank you for managing the resources that were given to you. There were not a lot of resources, but you managed to make successful district level meetings. We didn't see anybody fighting at district level. We had a lot of harmony. So thank you. I want to thank the RDCs for the great work that you've done. I think now we have a good team of RDCs.
Yep.
We have a very good team of RDCs. The thing which we need to make sure is strengthen security. As people begin to produce, they need to make sure. So the RDCs with your security teams want to thank you so much. And I want to thank the chairman. I really want to thank the chairman, my son over there. Yeah. When you find him in a corner, he will tell you the journey we have walked and where we have come and how far we have come in building a Butebo team to make sure that we work together. So I want to thank our political leaders. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing unity, and thank you so much. I'm looking forward. And these words I'm saying are not empty words. When I remember the first day I stood in my parish, I told them, you are going to become the model parish, the first day. So when I'm threatening Bukedi to become the best in the region, I'm not joking. I mean it. I really mean it. We are going to be the best. And all our technical staff, thank you very much. With those